Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. We have our annual interview with Luke Rudkowski. We first had him on. He was actually on episode 100, the centennial episode of Anarchast, where I was in New York City and on the cold, dark, dangerous streets of New York City.
Of a third world country.
Yeah, it is quite a third world place. And then it was about a year ago that I had him on, and we were talking about his Change Media University. And since then, I've seen him all over. I always see him all over the world. He's everywhere. I think there's more than one of them. I don't want to start any rumors. I know how these things go. But I see him all over the place. I saw him this summer, and we busted into the Bilderberg conference. That was quite interesting experience for me. I know it's normal for you, Luke. But anyway, good to have you on. How are you, my friend?
I'm amazing. Couldn't be any better. Just getting off the 2-week lapse of just getting myself focused, getting myself better mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I'm ready to go, and nothing is impossible. And I'm ready to conquer and do all these amazing things that we've always been doing, but on another level, more better, more intriguing, more engaging, more everything. It's just a new year, a new time, and I'm really excited for 2016. It's going to be a hell of a year.
Can someone get Luke a coffee? He seems a little low energy. No, you're always like that. I don't know what your tricks are, your secrets, but you always have this amazing energy, and you're always all over the place too. I don't know how you can do it. I guess part of it's being younger. I'm much older than you, but you also do a lot of different things. I know you were just at a sort of a retreat in the Caribbean or something, and
undisclosed location.
Undisclosed, yeah. And you said you were going there sort of to get away from work, but then I saw you doing a actual video with a great YouTube channel guy, Storm Clouds Gathering, while you were there. So you never really do stop working, do you?
It's very hard to stop doing it, especially when you're meeting someone amazing like Aaron Hawkins. He has just really pinpoint amazing information. His YouTube channel is on point when it comes to foreign policy. And, I just couldn't resist. Even though I was supposed to say no work, no nothing, I just can't help myself sometimes. And I guess when you talk about like the secrets, there's a lot of secrets of the trade. There's a lot of different things that people could do, whether it's meditation, whether it's positive thinking, whether it's NLP, whether it's just restructuring the way your brain works into a more kind of beneficial way. There's so many different techniques. There's so many different things that I definitely recommend a lot of people kind of look into themselves to be kind of the best, most effective version of themselves that I've been kind of working on ever since I kind of launched Change Media University. I've been teaching people the bare bone minimum of like, okay, this is how you do journalism. This is how you get a press credential. This is how you sneak around security guards. This is how you get to the celebrity, get to the politician, have nobody standing in your way. But then I noticed also that there's also a lot of personal things that people need to get through in order to get to a certain position in their life to be the most confident, the best version of themselves. And I've been kind of working on that within the last 2 years, reading a crap ton of books, going to a whole bunch of seminars all over the world, talking to a whole bunch of leading experts. And there's really so much more behind the scenes that people don't see that, you really need to realize within yourself to actually, just get all these amazing things accomplished, get all these amazing things done. And, and if I could do it, anyone could do it.
Yeah. If you could do it, anyone can do it. That's that's for sure. But talking about these things, I've also talked a lot about this as well over the last couple of years. How I tried ayahuasca twice, and you're not just talking about ayahuasca, but talking about these sort of alternative ways of re-energizing yourself, of fixing issues you have and things like that. And I did ayahuasca twice, and then I've done Iboga now 1.5 times, you could say. I did it just a half boost about a month ago as well, and it's really changed my life. Have you done ayahuasca?
Haven't done ayahuasca. I've done different other kind of how would you say shamanic, I guess, substances or whatever.
Medicinal plant, psychedelic plants or something.
But one thing I realized, it's not really as much as the chemical that affects you, but you yourself. I mean, certain chemicals have a certain way of helping you get past a lot of the surface ego-based crap that's right in front of you. But a lot of it is also a lot of just thinking, a lot of internalizing a lot of things, a lot of coping, a lot of just being able to realize yourself from the truest version without any kind of distractions. A lot of this, to me, the most important part of this is not just, taking a chemical or taking a drug. It's a lot of introspection. It's a lot of personal work that goes behind it. And to me, before you even get into that whole world, there's another world that you need to discover within yourself, and take a lot of patience and a lot of time and a lot of research to make sure that you're actually doing the right thing for yourself. So, when you go into and jump into that world, you really need to do your homework. You really need to learn to listen to yourself, learn to meditate, learn to calm your brain, learn to be introspective, learn to understand what you are doing, because it is a very kind of weird trajectory, weird path that you are going on. That's not, normal to societal standards.
Yeah, well, I don't like anything that's normal to societal standards, but it doesn't seem to work. All those antidepressants all those people are on, they're always shooting up places and killing themselves and stuff. But it's interesting what you said about being introspective. You haven't done ayahuasca. I've done it twice. That's really what it is for the most part. It forces you for about 6 hours to go deep into your own psyche and think about every single thing you've done in your life pretty much and work through it. And it's sort of funny because a lot of people say things like ayahuasca and Iboga are like 10 years, well, especially Iboga. Iboga is much, much bigger than ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is nothing to me now after Iboga. But it's like 10 years of psychoanalysis in like one night. It's absolutely insane. It's crazy. It's so hard to do, but once you get through it, it's quite amazing. And I think what happens is it kind of takes, for example, I'll give you an example. For you to go and sit in a room for like 8 hours and think really hard about every aspect of your life and everything you've done, and think about really traumatic things that have happened to you, and think through it really clearly is really difficult because you've got all these emotional attachments to all these things. So as soon as you think about something that really crappy that happened to you, your brain actually, I've discovered this as I'm finding out more about all this stuff, your brain really just kind of almost shuts it off. It sends out like a signal. It gives you almost like a pain feeling. Like it's not necessarily pain, but like you feel like it is almost like pain, and you don't want to think about it.
Well, there's like an ego-based kind of conscious block to prevent yourself from going deep within yourself because you don't want to hurt yourself. But sometimes you need to understand the subconscious kind of pains, the experiences you had in order to deal with them. A lot of people in society suppress a lot of bad emotions instead of embracing them. And I think once you kind of get into this world, once you start kind of experimenting and learning and taking different substances, you learn to embrace the bad just like you do the good, not suppress them, because the more you try to suppress any bad emotions, any bad feelings, any bad experiences, they foster inside of you and then they express themselves subconsciously, and your conscious never really truly deals with that trauma, never truly deals with the problem, and then you see that problem reverberate all throughout your life unless you finally face it, unless you're not afraid to look it right in the eyes and tell it that it has no power over you. And I think, we're getting very deep. I think we're skipping a lot of steps here for a lot of people also, just like where we're talking. But, I hope this, for some people, this could be helpful. But there's just truly just a whole another, possibility out there for you. Because I remember being, younger, starting out, and having a lot of my own internal issues, whether it was insecurity, whether it was a lack of confidence, whether it was just being a chode, dealing with all of that. It was hard for me to address those problems consciously because my brain didn't want to see that nasty, ugly part of myself. Right. But once you learn to kind of work on yourself, once you learn to meditate, once you learn to calm things down and not just be stuck in the motion. Once you learn to accept and to be open and to say yes to things and to be able to be truly introspective, then and only then can you be truly free because you have nothing else holding you down internally. And I think a lot of people, when we talk about the government making us not free and us trying to be free, I think another important factor of that, which you're getting into now, is being free within ourselves spiritually and consciously, which not a lot of people are. And I think we need to begin with there before we even go and expand to other people, because then we get rid of core issues of control. Then we get rid of core issues of power. Then we get into core issues of, denying someone the true ability to be the best, truest version of themselves, and to not deny themselves to themselves, and to be a free, loving, amazing human being with no judgments, with no hatred, with no anger towards society or other people or other circumstances or bad hands that they were dealt with. And I think, again, this is extremely complex. I don't know if we're getting too deep here, Jeff.
No, I love this stuff, and I'm sure the audience does as well. Keep going.
No. Okay. I fully agree with you, but I think also a major component is taking a step back, making yourself the best version, the freest version of yourself, and then kind of letting that speak throughout society. But first, it comes internally, working on yourself. And it doesn't always include psychedelics. You don't always have to do psychedelics to get there. Psychedelics help some people under certain instances to help them open up, to help them get rid of the blockages, help get rid of that conscious, ego-based kind of surface, superficial level that they have in front of them, but it's not everyone else's path. And I do, always say, do the right thing for you. Do a crap ton of research, do a crap ton of homework, and most importantly, just begin with yourself. You don't need always just psychedelics to get there, but in certain instances, they sure do help a lot.
It definitely helped me. I don't think going to a psychiatrist or thing. I was so, I don't know if you really, you kind of knew me back when you did. You definitely did. When I was so stressed out, so overworked, I was just a mess. I was a wreck. I was drinking a lot because I was not balanced at all, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. And for me, I've always been the kind of person, I always figure out problems my whole life. I have a problem, I figure it out. And this was one I couldn't figure out, and it was very scary because, when you can't figure out why you feel so fucked up, it's a really kind of scary feeling, like, holy shit, this is the one thing I wish I could figure out, and I couldn't. And it was the ayahuasca that started me to get down that path, and that's when I saw you after that in Europe. And then when I returned here to Mexico, I did Iboga, and that was the one that just next level. I'm on the next level now. I got rid of so much stuff that was just in there, and I still have a lot more, and this never ends, really. But this is information. You started We Are Change, and I believe you started that based on Gandhi's saying, be the change in the world you want to see. And you really do live that. You embody that yourself. You change yourself as you're going out there. And I have to say this, Luke, and I've never said this on camera to anyone before, and I've never really said it to many people in person before, and I've actually have said this to you. There's something about you. You're kind of special. I don't know what it is. Like, you are on the next level. Like, when I hang out with you, like in Europe, I'm like, this guy is not your regular human being. Like, this guy is like so far beyond, and I think it's because of a lot of all this work you've done on yourself. And so now you can just walk up to Henry Kissinger. A lot of people are Rockefeller, all these guys. A lot of people would be really scared to, expose these people and worry about their own safety by doing it. But you walk up like it's just like going to McDonald's and ordering a Big Mac or something. It's like nothing to you, it doesn't seem like.
Well, once you start getting into this world, you understand that there's two major forces, the forces of fear and the forces of love. And once you start to understand the power of both of them, once you start to learn how both of them work, you understand which path you should take within your life. Sometimes fear is necessary. Sometimes you can't have the light without the darkness. But other times, what I've learned throughout my kind of career, without my path, is that, love is always the right way to go about things. And once you let fear control you, once you let fear grab a hold of you, you see all these disgusting negative things kind of unfold. You can't have the two without each other. But once you understand the real power of love, kind of like a Star Wars refugee, the light force and the dark force, I just saw Star Wars, so excuse me. Once you start kind of learning and harnessing the true abilities that you could have within yourself and the things that you could get done with that positive kind of love and that kind of affirmation of yourself and of everybody else, you could do anything and nothing is impossible. And you learn that, you make, life is a dream and you get to decide your dream. And that's what I've been it's still sometimes insane. Sometimes I still gotta slap myself, wait, what am I doing? I'm freaking able to do what I want when I want. I'm able to piss off the world elites. I'm able to travel the world. I'm able to, freaking help people all over the world. I'm able to like highlight people like Nato Matsumari, who was in Japan, who stayed behind in Fukushima and helped rescue animals and put his life in danger. I'm able to give him a voice. I'm able to highlight important people like Serena Shem, the journalist who was killed in Turkey, who very few people knew about until I was able to do a video about her and get her, just the memory of what beautiful human being she was out there to the world. I was able to help the Lantry family in, Nevada, the Native American family that was pretty much extorted, pretty much had a failed assassination attempt on them, had the FBI black bag them. I'm able to help them get back on their feet by doing a fundraiser for them. I'm able to go to the Philippines and I'm able to, see the true nature of the worst in humanity, of abject poverty, of the worst kind of horrible, most deplorable human conditions that people could live on. And I could go there and I have the ability to talk to these people, to work with these people, but most importantly, help these people. Spend my time volunteering, spend my assets and my resources that I've gained in order to help them one-on-one. I'm able to make a video about them and help them have tens of thousands of dollars, which will virtually save hundreds of kids' lives for the next few years. And knowing that you have all this potential to do so many amazing, beautiful things, why not do it? Like, why? I feel, and then the other focus of it is I feel bad because I'm not doing enough. And, it's like a continual kind of circle. I want to do something amazing. I want to help human beings. I want to be there for them. I want to highlight the people who had a bad car, dealt with them, the people who got screwed over by the corporations, by the big banks. I want to be there for them, and I'm doing everything I can, and I can only do that because of you, the beautiful audience, the people who are watching, the people who are liking, the people who are subscribing, and having that huge responsibility. It is a burden sometimes. It is a lot of risks. I mean, my life has been threatened. I've been put in jails. I've been beat up. I've been harassed. I've been intimidated. I went through the whole 9 yards of just grueling. I've been banned from countries. I've been freaking, I went through everything, and I'm willing to do it because I truly understand that true power of love, and I sacrificed everything, and because I did, and because I let go fully, freely of myself, of my condition, of who I am, the universe has answered back to me, and it has given me everything that I could ever ask for.
I've seen it in person. This is why I'm saying that you are next level, and anyone could be like this. This is what I'm learning, and I've actually done it to an extent myself in my life, but I never recognized that you actually can create your own reality. So everything that I've ever tried to do, I've done. It sounded crazy at the time. Quit your job at a bank. You have no money. Start up the largest financial internet company in Canada a year later. You can do these things, as Luke said, as you open up and you have these things that you want to do, and if they are sort of love-based, as he's pointing out, if they have good intention, you actually can achieve the things you want to do in life. It's hard for a lot of people to believe, but the more I think about it, the more it's actually true. And you, just being around you, like when we met in Austria, I actually was going there because my wife is originally was married there. My son is from there, so we were visiting his father. And I just messaged you a week before because I noticed the G7 meeting was in Germany, and I think I saw you say that you wanted to go to it. And I said, well, if you're going to go, we should definitely meet up. And you said, well, I don't really have any money or anything, but I think I'm just going to go anyway. And I thought you were kind of joking. And when you and Dan Dix of Press for Truth walked down the street to meet me, and we said hello. I said, so where are you guys staying? And you guys were like, we don't know. You guys were basically homeless. You had no money. And then we sat down at the restaurant, and the restaurant owner came out, and he's like, Luke Rudkowski. He's like, I'm a huge fan. He's like, whatever you want. I think he ended up charging us extra, though. That's a whole other story. But
I think that has to do with some of the behavior that happened over there, too.
Possibly. We did cause quite a bit of problems.
Or I think he got
hotel.
in trouble by the upper management because he gave us like what was it, $20 a night for like a $500 hotel a night.
And then we had to search the whole hotel for Dan Dix one night when he was lost, and he lost his we found his shoes, and he was he was sleeping in the wrong room or something. It was a whole clusterfuck. But the point was, like, you guys, that's how you actually live. You just go somewhere and just make it happen. And so many people don't do that. They have that fear, right? They have this something holding back. I don't have enough money. Even you're coming to Anarchapulco in less than a month now, February 19th, 21st. You're also doing Change Media University there, February 18th. And I get a lot of emails of people. It's like, oh, I just found out about it. It's a month away. You know, how could I possibly? It's like, what are you talking about? It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not. It's not hard at all. You just got to let it happen. Let go of that fear. If you want something, like, go out there and go get it, and let nothing stop in your way. There's a corny saying the more you give, the more you get back. But that's ultimately the truth, and that's what I've been living by. I mean, literally, it's only pretty much me basically doing all the YouTube videos. I have no plans. I have no kind of organization. I have no one helping me produce or edit or set up interviews or set up context or even holding a camera. I still do that by myself. I may not have a lot of like economic resources, but I have a lot of social currency that's amazing and beautiful and only possible because of the audience. And having, that, I have everything I ever need. I could just drop in anywhere in the world right now and it will figure itself out. If I want to be somewhere, if I want to do something, if I have a feeling within my gut, I'm going to do it, whether I can or cannot logistically, and it always works out, no matter what, magically and perfectly, because I just let go of that fear. I'm like, this is going to happen, and I know it will. G7, we were there. You're like, oh man, Jeff, I was like, you don't have any press credentials. And you're like, yeah, I don't. I'm like, okay, come with me. I'm going to get you press credentials.
Well, first of all, let me start this story. So me and Dan were out pretty late one night, and Dan, we lost him, and we had to send out a search party. And then, but you seem to have this energy, and you were just gone early in the morning, and Dan actually felt bad about it. He's like, oh, because, he missed one riot that you got. And so I was like, so Dan, where's Luke? And you guys have all this technology on your phones. I sound like an old man here, but I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that. And we were tracking you on your phone so we could find you. And then this huge rainstorm came down, and me and Dan were in the middle of sort of what was a protest, which turned into just everyone running for cover. We were absolutely soaked. And then as soon as that was sort of starting to end, then this sort of riot was starting to form, and we were right in the middle of it, soaking wet. And all of a sudden we see this RT van go by, and Dan goes, "That's Luke." And I go, "Luke's with RT?" And you roll down the window. You're like, "Guys, come on." And I'm like, "How'd you get?" And he's like, "Oh, I know these guys. They picked us up, so they took us to the G7 thing." And I said to you, "Well, how am I going to get in?" You were like, "No problem. Just go up and sign their forms and tell them." I think I said Huffington Post or something. And then we were in, and that's how you live your life, and it's quite a wild experience. And you also pointed out is that you do everything yourself, and I didn't believe that was true until I saw it. So after all this whole day, you're in riots, you got your helmet on, you're getting maced and stuff. Yeah. Tear gassed, and then we go to this whole thing, and then you come back at the hotel at like midnight. You and Dan are sitting there video editing tons of video and putting out amazing stuff all by yourself. It was and this is what you're going to be teaching at Change Media University, so maybe we should talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's just like perfect, beautiful moments of perfect synchronicity. Once you let go of that control, once you let go of that fear, amazing things open up for you in the universe. And then you can't have any doubt, you can't have any judgment, you can't have any expectations. You will have to bust your butt. You will have to work extremely hard. You will have to sacrifice. But if you really want something in life, you're going to do it. And the only thing that's stopping you is you, yourself. And, that's the kind of new mentality that I've been trying to teach with Change Media University. Change Media University online on wearechange.org, when people click on it, is pretty much all the basics: how to be your own boss, start your own business, monetize, get your press credentials, do the videos, how to do them, how to edit them, how to do SEO, how to have your own website, how to do everything from 9 to 10, all the basic stuff. But, what I've been noticing is that you need a whole nother level of self-help kind of guidance, of more positive affirmation, of teaching people life hacks, of teaching people how to socially hack, teaching people how to believe in themselves and to be truly confident within themselves. So that's what I've been kind of doing one-on-one with people on the boot camp. So if people are interested in Change Media University, people think it's only how to be a journalist. No, it's how to be a better human being, how to be able to speak to people, how to have your voice heard, how to run your business in a more positive, efficient way, how to be the best version of yourself as a human being, to be the most effective version as a human being, not only as a journalist, but also all spheres of life, because that's what I do when I'm with people one-on-one, and we did that last year, and it was incredible. I mean, we did laughing yoga, we did running exercises, we did positive reaffirmation, we did football drills, we did tequila shots on graduation. We mixed it all up with a whole sphere of one-on-one work, of a lot of mental work, of a lot of spiritual work, and also a lot of physical work. So I try to combine all those forces together to give you the best bang for your buck. And after last year's, 50 people, there was zero complaints. Everyone was satisfied. I always tell people, I believe in my product. I believe in myself. If you're not happy, you tell me why, and you get a complete refund of everything. And I always said that to people. I think there was one complaint from a lady who had to bring her laptop, and then there was no Wi-Fi at the hotel, and then she was mad she had to bring it. That was the only complaint that we did have. But out of 50 people, I went around. After 50 people, I went around and I said, look, are you happy? What did I do good? What did I do wrong? What did you want? What else can I help you with? And I'm still in communication with all those individuals on the secret kind of conversation portal that we have within each other, because I want to make sure I'm there for people. I want to make sure I could review your work. I want to make sure we could be the best versions of ourselves, because I feel like I've been blessed with an amazing gift to be able to literally do what I want. I'm able to freaking go from, Greece and talk to, the grandmothers who are trying to get their pensions out the ATMs that are broke. I'm able to go to the refugees camp in Paris, France. I'm able to be at Machu Picchu. I'm able to be at the Banksy theme park that opened up. I'm able to sneak into Bilderberg. I'm able to be at Burning. I'm able to do all these amazing, beautiful things. And I want that for everyone else, because once we all start reciprocating, once we all start working together, once we all start being activated in informing and helping humanity at large, all of us will benefit. A lot of other people, especially, this comes from David Rockefeller, who said, competition is a sin. Competition is not a sin in any way. The market that we have right now needs to grow a free, independent thinkers who will question authority, and that could only happen if we help each other. And I want to give my opportunity to help you be the best version of yourself in all spheres of society, and that's why I'm doing this boot camp. It's a lot of work. Last year we did 8 hours. It was just exhausting. I gave everything out, and I still could have gave out a lot more, but the time just ran out and it was short. And I want to do it again this year, but I want to do it better. We may go on longer. Expect anything from everything to just pop up right in front of you. And man, I want to thank you for also giving me this opportunity to be able to work with people one-on-one, to be able to teach them, to be able to work with them, because there's nothing more gratifying to me than to pass on the gift that was blessed to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about Rockefeller and competition as a sin. Well, it is a sin, I guess, if you're a monopolist fascist who wants to control the entire world. So that's where he's coming from on that. But yeah, the Change Media University looks amazing. Did you get a hold of Adam Kokesh? Do you know if he's going to participate in any way yet?
Adam Kokesh said he will participate. Dan Dix will participate as well. We're working out all the final details with them. But yeah, Dan Dix and Adam Kokesh are going to be there as well, helping you guys out, working with me to give you all the kind of secrets of the trade of just us doing what we're doing to help you do what you want to do in life.
Yeah, that's amazing. Adam Kokesh, Dan Dix, and Luke Rudkowski, for I think it's $150. You can spend the entire day with them and just it would be amazing. Just trust me on that. It's part of the Anarchapulco conference as well, which is also going to be amazing. You were here last year, Luke. I think you said that it was a pretty good conference.
I said it's the best conference I ever went to, with the combination of you and just the parties and just the people and the speakers and just the weather and the place that it took place in and the beaches and just everything in general. Just Mexico is a very powerful, beautiful, amazing place that many people seem to skip. But Acapulco and Anarchapulco, really, I went to, I go to conferences, 2 to 3 times a month. Anarchapulco, for me personally, with my experiences there, with being able to work with the students, with being able to, hang out with all the other incredible speakers. You also got incredible speakers this year too that are totally different than last year's. It was just seriously one of the best conferences, and I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up, but I'm being serious. One of the best conferences that I ever went to, that I had the most kind of fulfilling experience with.
Yeah, it was great, and it's going to be great again this year. Looking forward to it. so many amazing people. Luke Rudkowski, Adam Kokesh, she must have over 1 billion views on YouTube. So you guys, to learn from you guys just on that aspect, let alone everything else, journalism. Forget journalism school; it's a complete waste of time, especially with today's technology. And watching you guys and how you do your work is really amazing. So it's going to be great. So your thing is on February 18th here in Acapulco, and then Anarchapulco is February 19th, 21st. A lot of things are filling up, including, I don't know if I told you this, we're going to have an ayahuasca ceremony at Anarchapulco.
I know, you're crazy.
That one's actually the most popular thing so far. We've got at least 30 people signed up for it already, we've got one of the best shamans in all of Mexico, by the way. So that's going to be experience. I think Adam's doing it as well. Adam Kokesh. I don't know if I'll do it because it's at the end. It's on Sunday night. So I'm gonna try to be at your event if you want me to. I didn't even talk to you about this yet. That's how busy both of us are. But if you want, I've started up some fairly big media companies. So if you want me to give a few insights at yours, I'm actually doing a Dollar Vigilante all-day internationalization investment summit on the same day. But I could pop over for half an hour if you do want me to, and talk about how I've done what I've done in the media business and some of the inside tricks to that.
It's official. You, Adam Kokesh, Dan Dix, myself, Change Media University. Let's try to limit it to 50 people because I want to work with people one-on-one. I don't want too many people there. Let's also say that publicly. Limit is 50 people, no more than that, because I want to make sure we're able to get all the exercises and all the groups done without too much of a bigger group. But yeah, it's official. I mean, Jeff, you and your experiences, especially in the business world, are definitely key and very important, especially now what you're doing in a different way. The kind of advantage that people would get would be really important. Adam Kokesh has been around forever. He's been all over the major media outlets. He's done a lot of crazy, insane things, and he could tell you some of his strategies and some of the things that he's done. Dan Dix is an amazing teacher, truly a professional, truly one of the best people out there in the independent media, who's still active, who's still continuing to do work, who has won awards, international film awards for his documentaries. I mean, the guy flew to South Korea because he won an international film competition. He knows what he's doing on the professional end. I know what I'm doing on the crazy loose end and just making things happen. Adam Kokesh is just a pure veteran in all shapes and form, and of course you got the money man, the man who figured it all out in your different ways as well. So I think it'll be incredible, and I'm really honored and humble for you to give me the space and you to give me this opportunity to be able to work with people one-on-one, and I'm really excited. So if you sign up, make sure you sign up, because again, 50, that's it, no more.
Yeah, we had 50 last year, so it probably will sell out again this year. So if you really want to go, make sure you register as soon as possible. I'd feel bad if you wanted to go and you can't. Of course, you can still come to Anarchapulco and still be around all the same people,
and
but you'll miss out.
If you can't come to Mexico, just get freaking flyer miles. Hack it somehow, or try to get there's so many different ways that you could travel. There's so many different there's Sky Airlines. There's so people think, people always say, I want to travel the world, I want to do this, but it's so expensive. It's not. Once you actually look at life hacks and travel hacks that you can accomplish yourself, it's not that expensive at all. And plus, there's a huge community out there in Mexico of people who will, take you in, who will take care of you. You're running that on your end as well. Nothing is impossible. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, that's okay too, but don't deny yourself any opportunity to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I've heard so many excuses, really. That's what they are, about people who really want to come, but, it's getting so close now, the flights are probably expensive. Well, did you even look? There's this misconception that if you book a few weeks before or a few days before, that it's way more expensive. That's totally not true. In fact, I've seen amazing deals just recently from Vancouver, Canada to Acapulco was under $500 round trip, which is really good.
You could look at Skyscanner and set up a price alert from your city to Acapulco. Sometimes Acapulco is a little bit more expensive to get to since it's a smaller airport, but you could always go to Mexico City, and then from Mexico City either take a small charter plane or even a bus for 1/4 or 1/10 of the price that an extra airline would charge you for a direct flight from your city to Acapulco. There's so many different options. There's so many different possibilities. Sky Airlines is another cheap airline that you could get on and have very free flights. There's also ways of saying that you're having a connect connecting flight, but never making your connecting flight and making your flights a lot cheaper than they actually are. Trust me, when it talks about traveling for virtually free or virtually cheap, I know exactly what I'm talking about. There's nothing stopping you. You get tickets for extremely cheap, and I really hope to see you there, because it's like the more of us that are there, the more power that we have all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about life hacks, travel hacks, I've done that for years myself. One of the things we're pointing out that I might be able to add to all this is when I was with you and Dan in Austria, you guys were like, we have no money, nothing at all. We're looking for a hostel, but we can't really even afford a hostel. And I said to you guys, you got to put in a few plugs for a few things, for donations at least. People love what you're doing, especially you, Luke. Like, not to say Dan, but like I've seen Luke, like he's got like people around the world that just love him, like they just consider him just like almost like Jesus or something. I've seen it, and I said to you actually in Austria, I said, why don't at the end of each video you just mention that you can donate? And you were like, well, I don't really want to. I just want to get the good truth out there. And I'm like, yeah, but if you don't have the resources to be able to do these things, you can't do them. And you, for the first time, really sort of took that information and used it there in Austria. And I remember we were at some bar. I forget exactly what we were doing, something crazy as usual. And you went, I just got $500 from Anonymous, donated. And I was like, yeah, just tell people that. So that's something I can give some perspective on, is revenue generation. I just talked to a huge guy. He has one of the biggest radio shows in the world that's on the internet. Amazing show. And he makes less than $2,000 a month. I asked him what his audience was, and I said, you should be making minimum $10,000. And I told him how. And I can tell you how at Luke's thing. So many great things. Looking forward to seeing it down here, Luke. So for people, it's at anarchapulco.com/workshop/WRC for We Are Change, or just go to anarchapulco.com and hit workshops, or you can check out Luke's website. And so Luke, finish up with whatever you want to tell people, and tell people how they can find out more information about We Are Change and Change Media University. Anything else you're doing?
No, I really just wanted to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for making We Are Change a possibility, to making We Are Change a reality, an idea that cannot be stopped by anyone. And it's because of your participation, because of your likes, because of your shares, because of your donations that we're able to do what we can, because of primarily you. And I love you guys, and you guys are amazing. Love me or hate me, I'll still be here no matter what. Even if I'm broke doing this, we still will be doing the good work that we've been doing here no matter what. And just thank you. Utterly grateful. Website's wearechange.org. A lot of videos on youtube.com/wearechange. Check it out. Get involved, and just understand that a lot of the stories that we do, a lot of the, bigger projects that we do, mainly revolve around you contacting me, being there on the ground with me, hanging out with me. So even if you don't have financial ways of supporting or being there and voting with your dollar, just interacting with me means the world to me. Just having positive people thinking and praying and just giving off their energy is just the most magical, beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm eternally grateful. And just again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this all possible.
Yeah, great as always. Always so uplifting to talk to you, Luke. Really looking forward to seeing you in less than a month. So no excuses. If Luke can fly around the world and do all these things with no money, pretty much, you can too. Another thing I heard as well is Mexico safe? Maybe you can just answer in about 10 seconds how dangerous Acapulco is, Luke.
It is one of the, for me personally, the safest place that I've ever been to, the wildest and most funnest place as well. A lot more freedom down there than you do find in America.
Yeah, a lot of people, they think it's dangerous here. I had people from Chicago and Germany recently say their wives didn't want to come because they heard that Acapulco or Mexico was dangerous.
I spent a month down there by myself after Anarchapulco, traveling all over Mexico by myself, and nothing bad ever happened to me throughout that month, except I got bed bugs in Mexico City and had to evacuate. But I would have spent a lot more time in Mexico if it wasn't for those crazy bed bugs in the hostel in Mexico City. But I, literally worst. I've been in the worst neighborhoods all over the world. I've been in the worst neighborhoods all over Mexico as well. Nothing has ever happened to me. To me, it's only as dangerous as you want to make it to yourself. Of course, be street smart. Of course, be aware. Don't be a dummy. And as long as you just, are smart, nothing will happen to you.
Yeah, it's also about attitude and about your own self as well. I've talked about that in the past, about safety in general. I've been to some of the craziest places as well in the world. Literally, people won't even go where I've gone. And I'll just go there. And in the old days, I'd get drunk and hang out with like Russian mafia guys. And I had some in, where was I? I was in Turkey. And I was in this really expensive club, and I got surrounded by 10 massive Russian guys, like massive. They didn't even look human. And they said they were going to kill me, and they looked pretty serious. And I just looked at them and I laughed. I said, "Go ahead." And they just all started laughing. And then we went out all night. You know, it's all about your attitude. If you give off fear, if you look scared, if you are scared, you will attract that negative energy. If you're not scared, like Luke, nothing seems to ever happen.
Yeah. I mean, I've been through similar situations with like people, like, you know, in like refugee camps pulling a knife on me, and I'm like, well, you know, it's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother video that we can make within ourselves, to be honest. But ultimately, it's all about your energy. Ultimately, it's all about you. Ultimately, it's all about who you are and what you represent and what you give out. And the more you give out, the more you get back. And that's a simple rule that I've been following, and it's been paying off tremendously and amazingly. And crap, man, I'm just grateful. I'm just thankful. You know, life is a dream. You know, make it a good one.
Inspirational as always, Luke Rudkowski. So we'll see you down here, Luke, at Anarchapulco in less than a month. No excuses for anyone out there. Just get here. It's amazing conference, as Luke said. You'll see when you get here. And so if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share down below. That's how Luke, Dan, Adam, myself, everybody, that's the only way we can get our stuff out there, where no one has any advertising budgets here. So that's the way that you can help. If you can't do anything, just click like on these videos. It's very easy. Share is a good one as well, definitely. But it's not easy. Just 2 clicks. There you go. You've helped contribute to something that you think is important. So that's it for Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. Peace, love, and anarchy.
You know, like probably a lot of comedians, had just a brutal childhood where dad ran away, had no love. I, just got lots of abuse from my mom. So I was really a shy kid. I didn't have any social skills. There was nobody around to teach me anything. Certainly when it came to meeting and seducing women, I was just like awkward.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that I'd be in this place in my own journey of advocacy. I remember being on your show and feeling really kind of lost as to what you stood for. But totally open to it. And you were so patient with me and didn't judge me that I didn't really have a clue. You just educated me about it and shared with me. And I think you definitely have that gift to meet people where they're at without judgment and point out the ways in which they're already living anarchy and living as an anarchist. And that was so helpful to me, because a lot of times communities tend to be really like cliquey, and they hold on to this knowledge, and you have to get into these groups. And you were just all about just helping me understand where I was already living it. So once we did that first interview, it opened a lot of doors for me. I started researching it, and to be honest,
from Acapulco, Mexico, this is Anarchast.